All right, welcome back.
What was it last time? He's going to bed now, I think.
Yeah, he's going to bed.
He's taking a nap.
Killed Vlav.
Murdered him very aggressively.
Shiki went home, got
Got
kind of chewed
berated.
out by his sister, and
Also, now we have a little boy, a young master Mario from the church.
oh yeah, true, yeah,
Who's a pubescent boy.
probably from the church at least. So,
Probably.
yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
After dinner, I took a quick bath and headed to my room. I take a seat at the desk furnishing my room. As Akiha says, I'd better make up for the fact that I spent the day idling around. I spread my textbooks out across the surface of the desk. Despite all the unbelievable things that have happened to me recently, at the end of the day, I'm still a second-year high school student. I have a massive pile of work that needs to be done. Well, I have a bunch of work I should be doing, but no matter how hard I try, I can't concentrate at all. The only thing I can think about is the figure of the woman who no longer needs me, and who I really ought to forget. Ah, man, I'm calling it a day. I give up, lie down on my bed, and stare aimlessly at the ceiling. It's okay. Tonight will be the end of it. The last 2 days were full of excitement, for better or for worse. You'd have to be crazy to forget something like that easily. I just need a day to cool off, that's all. I'll just lie here, doing nothing, and let my consciousness drift. In order to keep my memories at bay and to dilute the impression she left on me, I'll consign myself to nothingness and let the hours slip away. If I do that, all of the events that have transpired will surely become nothing more than fragments of the past. Eventually, my eyelids begin to droop. My consciousness slowly fades. My senses are subsumed by the unbearable darkness. And just like that, the day that went by so peacefully comes to an end. Lying there in bed, wondering if I'm trying to fool myself, I sink back into an uncertain slumber. That's it? That's okay.
Damn. Alright, I guess we could have just gone through that last time, but whatever.
It's fine.
What no Arcuide?
At
Eyes
his
of Death
window? No.
Perception 1. Alright. We're so
Day
what is this?
7.
Day 7 of like 15, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ayo.
12 or 15.
I wake up, my thoughts still hazy. My arm feels a little heavy as I reach out for my glasses. Ah, I must have developed a light fever. With that detached thought, I put them on. My vision returns to normal, but the mild dizziness persists. My symptoms resemble those of a cold, but this is one of those fevers peculiar to the morning. Like an engine that hasn't started up in a while being warmed by a combustion, this feeling will subside with time. There's a knock at the door. After a short pause,
Pardon the intrusion.
with a bow, Hisui enters the room. Morning, Hisui. Thanks as always.
Good morning, Shiki-sama. I see that you are already awake.
Yeah, I slept like a log last night. I'll head down to the dining room as soon as I've gotten dressed. Can you let Kohaku-san know that, since I have a light fever, I'd like a smaller portion today?
Understood. Do you require a thermometer?
No, I don't. It's just your average low-grade fever.
In that case, Your change of clothes is over here. I will wait for you in the dining room.
Hisui bows and leaves the room. Perhaps it's just me, but her bow didn't seem as sharp as usual. I wonder if she's worried about me. However, this kind of thing really does happen all the time. I appreciate the concern, but it's nothing to make a fuss over. If you're going to fret about something, it should be a wound like that. One you can instantly tell is serious. But man, to think she really used duct tape for that. Just looking at it made my blood run cold. Next time I see her, I'll... I cut myself short before I finished my sentence. There's no next time. We'll never see each other again. You can convince me to get involved with that walking calamity of a woman again. Not for all the money in the world. That's right. I decided that would be for the best.
You gonna do it for free?
Where did that voice come from?
Just from inside of his head. Little Neko arc.
Little orcoid.
Little Arcoid. What's up? Just on his shoulder, like a little angel. Or demon, actually, I guess.
I digest that undeniable fact. It's Monday. Fuck,
it's Monday.
the beginning of the week. Perfect for getting a fresh start. Having washed my face and dressed myself, I enter the living room. Akiha is sitting on the sofa. The clock has only just struck 7, but she seems to have already finished her breakfast and is now gracefully enjoying her cup of tea.
Oh, good morning, Nissan. You're up early today.
Akiha seems in a good mood. I wonder if it's because she's pleased to see me up and about so early. Good morning. You seem to be up early as well, as per usual. And then? I suddenly feel lightheaded, so I pinch the bridge of my nose. Even then, the dizziness won't go away. My body temperature rises, so much so that I start to think something is wrong.
Nissan?
I hear the faint rustling of clothes and the sound of approaching footsteps.
Is something wrong? Your face is red. Do you have a fever?
Yeah, but it's one of those low-grade fevers that, oh god, no.
I'm totally chill. Why are you blurry?
Well, it's true I have a fever, but... Akiha moves up close to me and peers up into my face from below. That's odd. For some reason, when I look at her, it feels like my dizziness gets even more intense.
It seems you have a bit of a fever. Did you make sure to use your blanket last night? I'm sure this is simply a result of the change in scenery throwing your health a little bit off balance. But let's just check to be on the safe side. Please wait here, Nissan. I will call Kohaku over right away, and we'll take your temperature before you have breakfast.
Akiha turns her gaze to the lobby. She must be planning to go and call for Kohaku-san, who is currently preparing breakfast in the kitchen. I take this opportunity to avert my gaze from Akiha. As I suspected, that was all it took to alleviate my dizziness. It's okay, Akiha. You don't need to call Kohaku-san. I simply wasn't feeling well because I just woke up, so you don't need to be so worried.
If you're not feeling well, then that is all the more reason not to leave you alone. What are you going to do if you catch a cold? Even a mild illness could pose a serious threat to your health. Your natural immunity and resilience are well below that of the average person, after all.
Wow, okay. I see how it is.
You're a fucking beta. God.
Exasperated, Akiha places her hand on my forehead. The sudden cool touch of her delicate palm sends a shiver down the back of my neck.
Don't call them delicate.
You deserve to have this this throbbing sensation in your head right now. For an instant, my breathing stops completely. Akiha's right. There is something wrong with me this morning. I don't understand why, but every single move she makes goes right to my head. Just watching her is enough to make my body temperature rise. If I were to touch her directly, it'd probably make me so dizzy I'd collapse.
Nissan, you seem to be running quite a high temperature.
I feel Akiha's voice echoing, not in my ears, but directly inside my brain. It was as if her beautiful black hair and her pale porcelain skin had turned into heat and were flowing directly into my head. Okay, alright, buddy.
Shiki, can you not, like,
Buddy. Butter.
Shiki, that's your sister.
Butteroo.
This is bad. This feeling will pass. My body's just a little unstable as a result of all the fatigue it's accumulated. But what I need to do right now, before I do something unthinkable in front of Akiha, okay, is...
Again, wording.
I just remembered something urgent. I brush off her hand and run like the wind.
Some preparations for breakfast will still take another 5 minutes or so.
Really? Thanks. Where's my bag?
If you're looking for your bag, it's right here.
Flawless preparation. That's Hisui for you. I thank Hisui and take my bag from her. I'm off. I'll see myself out.
Stop right there. Where do you think you're going with a fever like that, Nissan? First and foremost, listening to your little sister and not running into the corridors. In the corridors are the rules of this household. Settle down and have your temperature checked in the living room at once.
Akiha is waiting for me in the lobby. She must have come to try and stop me. However, given that she's following her own rule about not running in the corridors, it seems she's only just made it here from the living room. My bad. I'll make sure to follow the rules next time. My fever's gone down, so I'll be headed to school. I'll just sort something out for breakfast myself. So if you could just look the other way this morning, that would be great.
What do you mean you'll sort something out? Wait, Nissan! Hold on, what did you just say? A rule you'll follow next time can hardly be called a rule at all.
Yeah, bye. As though fleeing Akiha's reprimands, I run through the entryway toward the front door of the mansion. In my heart, I clasp my hands together in silent prayer and apologize. I appreciate that she's worried about my health, but there's no way I could say something like, well, the truth is, just looking at you is almost enough to make me pass out. I can't even begin to imagine the retaliation that would have been in store for me if I had. After taking a deep breath, I'm finally able to calm down. I should be safe now that I've put this much distance between us. Akiha isn't childish enough to announce, I'm going to school too, and then chase after her older brother as he legs it. But is it really typical of Akiha to be upset about the rules of all things? But it really is typical of Akiha to be upset about the rules of all things. Remembering what she said earlier brings a wry smile to my lips. Even though she's my sister, to this day I still can't say for sure whether her emotional boiling point is high or low. I guess I should stop by a convenience store.
Do you have any money on you? Yeah, okay.
I don't have a lot of money in my wallet, but I should at least get something light to eat. I resent the fact that I actually have an appetite, today of all days. Normally, I wouldn't mind skipping breakfast, but I'm pretty hungry this morning, so I've just gotta suck it up.
It's that blue Takis coursing through his blood. He just needs to get accustomed to the Slurpees and such. Just take a deep breath.
I'll pick up some stuffed bread. That should be enough to tide me over until lunchtime. Only a few minutes have passed since I stopped by the convenience store. It's about half an hour earlier than I'd usually be going to school. There aren't many students visible on the sidewalk. In about 10 minutes, the main gate will be crowded with students, but for now, there are only 2 or 3 of them, myself included. Unlike that time, there's no sign of the unbelievably beautiful woman sitting on the guardrail, waiting for someone. In the schoolyard, sports clubs are in the middle of their morning practice. With a sidelong glance in their direction, I head toward the entrance. I like moving my body. It makes me feel alive. However, I wasn't able to join any clubs. Because I have chronic anemia, there's a chance I'd let the rest of the team down when it counts. Plus, my doctor also strongly insists that I refrain from overexerting myself.
Damn, he has chronic anemia. I never would have guessed. Never.
My freshman year, there were a couple of clubs that offered to let me join. Whenever they did, I always turned them down by saying, maybe next time. And each time, I felt an indescribable sense of estrangement. And so, here we are. I suppose I've been avoiding getting involved in them in any way, operating according to some subconscious self-defense mechanism.
Maybe he should join archery.
No, they've already got a guy for that. I put a stop to my sentimental musings. Silently cheering on my kindred spirits in the sports clubs as they give their all, I continued on to the main school building.
Oh, what have we here? Good morning, Shiki-kun. Aren't you a little early?
Yeah, I got the time a bit mixed up. Good morning, Noelle-sensei. On my way to the classroom, I bump into Noelle-sensei. She seems pretty shocked to see me. I suppose she wasn't expecting to run into anyone here at this hour either.
So you lost track of time, but instead of showing up late, you ended up coming to school too early. That's your style, right? The diligent type. You're still young, though. Surely it wouldn't hurt to take things a little easier while you can.
I'm taking it easy, believe me. It's not like I love studying or anything. While I have you here, about my unexcused absence last Friday.
Oh, that. Relax, I didn't inform your family about it.
Oh, well, they knew.
It's totally normal to boycott a day every once in a while. Besides, Shiki-kun, it's more convenient for you that way, right?
With a suggestive chuckle, Noelle-sensei says something rather out of character for a teacher. That helped me out. Or rather, I think it saved me. Akiho would have been significantly angrier at me if she discovered I was absent on Friday. I get the feeling that Noelle-sensei's education policy is just a tad too lenient.
Oh, Shiki-kun, you're such a wet blanket. It's not like I'm not serious. It's just that I respect my students' independence. I mean, all of you are so young and delicious looking. I think it's only natural you want to live life on the edge and go fool around for a day or two.
What?
This lady scares me.
Her and the doctor, I swear.
Yeah. Doctor is a little bit more overt, but you know, it's fine. Thank you, Arach. Thank you, Professor Arach. Anyways.
Anytime, oh my god.
No, it's not like I was going out and messing around or anything.
You were murdering a man. Just kidding. It's just a joke. I know. It's the usual anemia, right? An honest boy like you would never go around playing with fire like that. So, is your body doing okay? Does it still hurt anywhere?
You really had me worried there. In truth, Noelle-sensei's joke hit the nail right on the head, but I'm not about to tell her that. My anemia? I'm in really good shape this morning.
I see. That's great. Then, from today onward, you can go back to your carefree student life. By the way, about your condition, how long have you had it? Were you born with it? Or maybe it's just
No.
Maybelline.
What? No, I wasn't born with it. I was involved in an accident when I was little, and I've had it ever since.
I see. That's very unfortunate. So that's why
Maybe
you
he's
don't
born with
exercise.
it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Okay.
I just made that joke too. Hold on, I didn't finish reading it. That's very unfortunate. So that's why you don't exercise and have such a small appetite. So what was it like?
Excuse me? I couldn't help but raise my voice at her cryptic question. As if licking her lipstick-laden lips on her tongue, Noelle-sensei says,
Like I said, I'm asking you what kind of accident it was. It was the sort of injury that leaves your body all strange, right? It must have been incredibly painful, right? So terrifying that you wanted to scream, almost as if you died for a moment before being born again.
oh, okay. Very
Tell us.
specific, Noelle-sensei. An indescribable chill runs through me. Not in reaction to Noelle-sensei's insensitive remarks. She's just got an insatiable curiosity. Or perhaps more accurately, I should say she has an inability to read the room. That much has been clear since she started here. What gave me pause is that I realized I don't actually remember the details of the accident at all. It was just a normal accident. I'm fine now, so it wasn't such a big deal. It's almost time for class, so if you'll excuse me. I bow to Noelle-sensei and walk past her.
Shiki-kun?
I turn around in response to my name being called.
If you're feeling well, then do your best to keep things under control going forward. It's in your best interest to not take any more days off.
With something like a wink, the returnee from France turns and heads toward the staff room.
Je t'aime.
I thought I'd be the first to arrive, but several of my classmates are already in the classroom.
Yes, look at all of them.
You're early, Tono. What happened on Friday? Morning. I was sick on Friday. What about you? Is morning practice over already? Don't get me started. Both last night and this morning, we got told to wrap it up early and be more concerned about our own safety. We just switched team captains, too. How's a new guy supposed to take charge under these conditions? It's nuts, right? And it looked like everything was business as usual for the athletic clubs, but I suppose even they have been affected by the vampire incident. Well, they just need to wait it out for a little while. The incident will soon fade away, and club activities will return to normal.
Or will they?
5 minutes until homeroom. As I sit here, reflecting on how lovely it is that the day's classes are about to begin without incident. Is this freaking Arihiko?
I bet you it is.
Oh god. Yo-ho! Slacker! Good morning! A voice calls out from behind, ruining my morning. Oh, I miss your face.
I did too. Look at him.
Yo, Delinquent Coon! Nice absence on Friday. Thanks to that, this morning is gonna be even more, energetic. What? Weren't you asleep for the whole weekend or something? I wasn't in bed the whole weekend. I'm not that much of an invalid. I was a little under the weather on Friday, but I started feeling better after I got home. It didn't feel worth it at all to go all the way to school, so I took the day off instead.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that, like, he literally made it to school and then sprinted away? Did no one see him? Like, I know that he blends in quite well, but did no one see this man fucking booking it?
I guess so.
What is that face?
I don't know.
Thank you, Arihiko. Seriously? I can't believe it's only took 3 days for this listless, laid-back lifestyle of that opulent mansion to turn you into an aristocrat. Man, as usual, nothing bothers you, huh? Look at Mr. Adaptable over here with his wherever I lay my hat is home attitude. I'm not jealous at all. No, sir!
That's why he ate all of the M&M cookies. He didn't save any for him. Fuck you.
Arihiko's bluff is a sight to behold. Yeah, so is his face. We could all stand to learn a thing or two from his rebellious spirit.
Could we?
For the record, I'm not used to it at all. Besides, you haven't seen how huge that house is. Arihiko, you know about the Tono Mansion? Nope, not a thing. I mean, it's on top of a hill, and it's surrounded by walls and trees, right? Without a way to get inside the grounds, there's no way I can get a glimpse of the mansion itself. I gotta say, the voyeuristic side of me does want to see it, but I mean, your house security or whatever is amazing, right?
It's just 2 maids.
It is just, I mean, those 2 maids are playable in a fighting game, so...
Fair.
And
Okay.
they kind of kick ass, so...
And my brain just immediately was like, if you bring him to the mansion, he's gonna end up dating one of the maids. That's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah,
'Cause
for sure.
He said
My
that they're
favorite
around
part-
the same age.
My favorite part about the maids is that they
They're
are
maids?
playable both together and on their own.
Oh, true. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Fair. Like I would know. Ah, wait. I think Keiko-san told me that there are actually a handful of burglaries each year, though for some reason the police never seem to be in a rush to show up. Have you really not heard anything about burglars making it to the top of the mansion up on the hill? Dude, that's... If you got multiple burglars breaking in every year and the police aren't showing up, isn't that pretty bad? Is your house in an antlion pit or something? How do you figure? The burglars are getting caught before the police even have a chance to show up. I'd call that pretty good security, not pretty bad. No, that's my point. The burglars don't make it out again, do they? Oh, I get it. If that's the case, then that'd be why no rumors have spread. We nod gravely to each other. We were terrified to think any deeper on the topic, so we do our best to change the subject. Oh yeah, did you see the scene left by the incident on Saturday? That big fire by the north gate of the station. I heard the outbreak started underground. No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a bit about it though. Look, there's the department store in front of the north gate that they were about to remodel, right? The park that was in front of it just totally caved in. Just absolutely wrecked. It's probably gonna take them like a year to fully rebuild it. But hey, it's not all bad news. Now that there are security guards and the TV news crews crawling all over the place, those idiots at the north gate have gone into hiding. Is that so? Oh, what about the hotel at Kuramibashi Station? The hotel at Kuramibashi. You mean that dome hotel? Ah, that's right. There was a fire there as well. The fallout from that one at the North Gate was so much bigger that I totally forgot about it. I can't blame Arihiko for his lack of discretion. Even though so many people burned to death in that incident, to Arihiko, it's just a story from the next town over. Thanks to the constant stream of news we're subjected in this day and age, no matter how tragic an event is, it will always be eclipsed by the next lurid news story and pushed aside to the public unconsciousness. But still, that doesn't make it any less disturbing. Anyway, what's happening on your end? In spite of your anemia, I don't think I've seen you take a single day off since middle school. Though I've seen you pull the stunt of going home right after showing up a couple times. Yeah, it was something along those lines. I made it about as far as the intersection, but then I started feeling sick, so I just went back home. You and Yumizuka have been misbehaving lately, haven't you?
What's wrong with you, Mizuka?
She has a job at the
At a
7-Eleven.
And she won't give me free big gulps. That's what having friends with secret jobs is for. God.
I can't deny that my behavior has been less than perfect lately, but what's the deal with Yumizuka-san?
She has a job at 7-Eleven.
She's been absent since Thursday. She didn't show up this morning either. She's always been an honor student, but maybe she was sick of
She's dead.
sitting in tenpai.
She better no. They're gonna put a root in for her, so she can't be dead. if nope, she's not allowed. She's too cute, and we gave her a job. We gave her a side job. So she's not allowed to be dead.
No, she can't win it now. She's in Furiten. Arihiko's analogies are unique, shall we say. Oop, well, that's it for me. Farewell. Study hard to make up for all the things you missed on Friday. Arihiko cheerfully leaves the classroom. He must be going to hide in the infirmary or something. It seems like today it's his turn to skip class.
You know what's funny?
Yeah, what's up?
When I was in school, I was thinking about it because they mentioned infirmary, and I was wondering if I ever went to the infirmary. I deliberately tried not to ever be sick during school, and like one time, I like broke down crying because I got really sick. Like I had 103 fever, and they
Ooh.
had to send me home. And I was like, no, I can't leave. I cannot leave. And they were like, why? What's so important? I had a callback for the musical that we were doing. And I was like, that day. And I was like, I can't leave. I can't. And so they literally, because I like refused to leave. And they had to bring the director in to calm me down.
Dang.
And that's like the only time that like I ever like really that. And then I slipped. We had a swimming unit in school. And I slipped on the diving board and like really hurt my leg. So I had to be sent home. And those are like the two times like I had to be sent home and like from school.
Dang.
But like I never really like missed school unless it was absolutely necessary.
Fair enough.
So.
Alright. The minute for the bell rings for lunch, this degenerate reappears, yawning as though he's only just woken up. That was a great nap. Dunno, let's go get a bite to eat. Oh, what a guy. I've got a hunch that only three things are bouncing around in that skull of his. Sleep, food, and sex.
As if he gets any.
Sure, I'm obviously ready to go eat, but are you really okay with that? Me being your lunch date, that is. I thought you were dead set on getting Senpai to accompany you. Huh? Lunch with Senpai? Arihiko frowns, his expression souring. Looks like Senpai gave him the cold shoulder yet again today. I go and get lunch with Arihiko. Having slept his fill in the infirmary. Looking up the area in front of Soya Station. There doesn't seem to be anything new. He's now hard at work. Hunting for information, mobile phone in hand. It's like they say, trailing behind society even by few hours can prove fatal. It could also just be a case of internet addiction, but it's Arihiko we're talking about. He's a different breed from the other students. Keeping up with what happened at Soya Station isn't just Arihiko amusing himself with other people's affairs. He's earnestly checking for anything that will give him an edge when it comes to surviving the nighttime world of the business district. Looks like there's been another garden variety cash register robbery. The shop clerk got stabbed in the gut. Looks like the perp was an alcoholic. Yikes, that's gotta hurt. There's no reasoning with a drunk, is there? I guess online shopping is the safest way to play it. Arihiko demolishes his meal, browsing his phone with his other hand all the while. The tradition of a father reading the newspaper during mealtime has completely transformed into its modern-day equivalent, right in front of me.
Is
No.
Arihiko a dad?
He's not a DILF. He's a dad.
He's just a dad.
He's just a dad. He's not daddy. He is dad.
He's just dad.
D-A-D.
Dad.
Like cargo shorts, socks and sandals.
He's got like the white undershirt and then like the Hawaiian shirt over it, unbuttoned.
No, white undershirt, Hawaiian shirt over it.
Yeah.
Friggin'
Completely unbuttoned.
Completely unbuttoned. He's got like a monster.
Yeah, he has like he wears sunscreen all over, but he specifically has like the aggressively white splotch on his nose.
Excellent. Very good.
Yes.
You finished your homework, Cheeky?
Oh my god. He does.
You clean your room, Tono?
I feel like, you know what, the more we talk about it, the more he is a dad. With how much he like picks on Shiki. That's minor dad energy, you know? That's dad-ish energy.
Dad-ish energy? Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Good lord. No. Leaving that modern day critique aside, Arihiko, is reading about this sort of news during lunch really that much fun? It's not fun at all. But for the sake of my foolish friend who takes no interest in the outside world, I have no choice but to inform him of the dangers of society.
Like a dad.
Like a dad. Are you hearing all this, Tono-kun? The North Gate collapsed, a drunkard stabbed someone, and an indiscriminate serial killer is on the loose. It's not like we're completely unaffected by this stuff, you know. You're right. No, that string of serial killings is over now. I'll grant you the incidents at the North Gate, but apart from that, things are the same as they always were. Really? They caught the serial killer? Well, they didn't exactly catch him, but the culprit is no longer of this world.
He do be dead. Can you imagine if he out loud had been like, the culprit is no longer of this world? He got abducted by aliens? Dude!
Yo!
Did you get a video?
Holy shit.
Did you get a video of that shit?
Yo. That's pretty poggers, Shiki.
Oh my god.
That's why there aren't any news stories with vulgar headlines about modern-day vampires. Nor are there people with being meaninglessly murdered by them. In any case, those kinds of silly incidents won't happen again, and there won't be any more victims. The city is back to normal now. I don't know. I think there's gonna be more victims, Tono. No, there won't. What makes you so sure, anyway? I mean, look. The news just reported that a 9th victim was discovered this morning. What?
Dun dun dun. It wasn't Vlav.
Arihiko shows me the screen of his phone. I can't believe my eyes. It's just as he said. There on the news aggregator website, under a heading consisting of a bird's eye view of the Soya Station North Gate, is new information regarding the vampire serial killings. You've gotta be kidding. Isn't this around the back of the theater we always go to? Hold on! Let me see that again. I borrow the phone from Arihiko. This isn't some troll spreading misinformation, nor is it an unsubstantiated speculation. The screen clearly shows an official statement from the police announcing that the serial killer's 9th victim was discovered last night.
Okay, but how fresh is the body?
That's fair. No way. I'm at a loss for words. That guy, Vlav, is dead. I killed him with my own 2 hands. And I have the CEO position to prove it.
I got a badge in the mail and everything.
So then... God, no. So then why? Why are corpses with their blood sucked dry still appearing? Still, a modern day vampire, huh? Although I guess I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked if the vampire was a beautiful older woman.
My guy. I don't, listen. It depends on what kind of blood sucking we're talking about, because there are many different types. Because either it hurts really, really badly, or it feels really, really good and then you die. But if it hurts really, really bad and then you go out in pain, I don't think you want that.
No, probably not.
Darling, we should have a talk about this. I feel like you just need to think about it more. Think it over.
A beautiful vampire? My spine freezes at Arihiko's casual remark. I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked by a vampire. I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked if the vampire was a beautiful woman.
You forgot about the older part, my guy.
I can't take those playful words as a mere joke. The incident isn't over yet.
Which means he can go see his girlfriend.
The appearance of new victims proves that the vampire is still alive and well. The simple process of elimination is all that's needed. Vlav is gone. That means the only other remaining vampire is...
But she wouldn't do that. She's told you she's never drunk human blood.
Also, I love how he says the only other remaining vampire. There are no other vampires ever.
Right?
Does he have proof that there are no other vampires, or is he just being
He's just
cheeky?
He's just being dumb.
With classes over, the school day has come to a close. Yet, here I am wondering where the time went. I was so caught up in all the dark thoughts swirling around in my head that I've only now noticed that the fact that I'm alone in the classroom. Serial killer is still out there. By all rights, those words shouldn't even warrant a second thought. But I recall her saying something. I have never killed a human being. I can't bring myself to believe she was lying. Perhaps the news got it wrong. Or maybe the only one who knows for sure is Arcoad herself. If I can track her down and see her once more, I'm sure everything will be cleared up. But even I don't understand why I want to. Those killings are no longer any of my concern. My life returned to normal the moment I settled the score with Lvov. I fulfilled my duty. I must have. That's why there's no reason. No reason to go out of my way to set foot into such an abnormal world. I should just carry on as normal, pretend nothing happened, and go home without thinking any more about this. Giving up and going home. As choices go, that's definitely the runner-up. But that's because a long time ago, someone taught me the number one thing to do in a situation like this.
Life is full of pitfalls for every human being, but I know you've got what it takes to pull through. So come on, show some resolve. Yes, show some revolve like a revolver.
That's right. There's no way I can just sit back and watch. Those words saved me. I lived my life by those words. That's why I can't just stand back and turn a blind eye. This case is far from over.
For some reason, I just thought of Magical Girl Arcuine again.
I mean, fair.
Having already gotten mixed up in it once, it seems I'm now fated to see this troublesome matter all the way through to the bitter end. I leave the school grounds.
Anyway, I'll be back in like 2 minutes or so.
Okay.
Alright. I don't have much of a lead, but I do still have the apartment key she entrusted me with. I'll head there first and see what I can find.
Make sure you knock before entering.
He didn't knock.
God damn it, Shaky. What if you'd opened the door and then just a naked woman was just standing in the middle of the room? She probably wouldn't care. But you would have like a little fit about it and then make it her fault. When really you're the one who didn't fucking knock, Shaky. Anyways, continue.
She's not here. The apartment is just as I remember it, but Arcoite is nowhere to be found. She's not here, but I can at least sense a trace of her presence in this room. I feel a wave of relief pass over me at this assurance that she hasn't vanished into thin air. That's fine. I didn't think finding her was going to be that easy. Alright, time to buckle up and get moving.
Wait,
I could wait here.
isn't it? Shouldn't he fucking go home? It's clearly almost dusk.
Yeah.
This bitch, oh my god.
I could wait here, but there's no guarantee she's coming back. I have no choice but to go out into the city and search for her at random, just like the time I first met her.
No, you need to go home. Your sister's gonna kill you.
As the sun sets, the city dons its evening visage. I searched all over the most likely areas, but found neither hide nor hair of Arcoide. What's up with that woman? When I'm not looking for her, she wanders right by me, but at a time like this, I can't spot her anywhere. What should I do? The night has just begun. I should...
Return to the mansion.
Alright.
I don't want our sister getting mad at us.
It's currently 7 o'clock. This road doesn't get much traffic to begin with, but after night falls, it's utterly devoid of any signs of life, and the whole area is just silent as the grave. I thought about pressing the buzzer and having someone unlock the gate for me, but it's currently right before dinner time. Both Kohaku-san and Hisui are probably in the kitchen right now, and I wouldn't want to get in the way of their work. Using my keycard, I go through the side door next to the gate. Ah. And then, the moment I arrive at the entrance, I remember the heated exchange from this morning. Wonder if Aki is still mad at me for rushing out of the mansion in the curry. in a hurry.
I mean, I she given the fact that you were missing for like a couple days, I feel like her worry is so much that of course she is like, but I wouldn't say that she's like mad, just worried. What do you think, Keith?
Probably not.
Yeah,
But
she seems very mature.
she'll
for her
probably
age.
mention it,
Yeah,
so.
she'll mention it, but I don't think she's that childish.
Right. She's not that childish. Surely she's calmed down by now,
Also,
right?
the fact that we got that question of should we go home, and then immediately another question, I feel like this is probably one of those questions where it's like, this is gonna change the route. I hate the fact that they mentioned that. Now I'm like always like, oh my god, is this one of those questions? Is this one of those questions? How far do we have to go back if we fuck up? Like,
To be fair, if that does happen, I can probably just.
oh, so there is a split off. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
For there to be a split
Why
off.
is it all the way over there?
What do you mean? What's all the way?
Why is it all the way? Why is the second one all the way over there?
That is a wonderful question. I don't know. That's terrifying.
Like like this one.
Yeah, that's.
Anyways,
I would bet you that one is like that starts the other route instead of the arco-wide route, which is why you couldn't push the button.
fair enough.
That probably would have set off like the CL route
Or something,
or
maybe.
something. I don't know. That's my gut feeling.
Perhaps. Anyways, she yelled at me earlier because I'd been running in the hallway, and I'd also refused to let her take my temperature. There's no way either of those actions were bad enough that she'd still be holding a grudge. I can't explain the situation, but if I show repentance in front of Akiha, that ought to be enough to placate her. That's right. She may be somewhat strict, but she'll come to understand if I talk to her. First, I'll let her know I'm back. After that, I'll use the time between now and lights out to come up with a plan to find Arcoid. Then, when the time comes, I'll slip out of the mansion and head back to the city. I'm home. Doing my best to sound carefree, I enter the lobby. I can hear voices coming from the living room. I wonder who it could be. It's just before dinner. I wouldn't have expected to hear anyone chatting here and there at this hour. Oh, is it gonna be friggin' Mummy Man?
It's probably Mummy Man. We haven't seen Mummy Man in a while.
No, we haven't. Kohaku-san should be in the kitchen, and I don't think Hisui's the type to strike up a conversation with Akiha. I wonder if Akiha is drinking with tea with Kohaku-san or something. The other possibility is that there's a guest over. I start to head over to see what's going on, but... Right as I do so, Hisui comes out of the living room. She must have come to greet me after hearing my voice, but... Is it just me, or is her expression gloomier than usual? I'm back, Hisui. Sorry for being late. Hisui stares at me, vacantly. She doesn't even respond with her usual, welcome back. Did something happen? I might be imagining it, but you look a little upset.
There is a visitor for you. She's been waiting in the living room for quite some time, so please make your way here at once.
It's Arculine!
I fucking knew it! I knew she would come back to the house. I fucking knew it! If it's not Arcuide, if it's not Arcuide, it's his friend. Who's been missing for like fucking 4 days.
Fair. Yumizuka probably then.
Yeah, it's either Yumizuka, it's either Yumi, or Arcuide. I'm just gonna call her Yumi, because I cannot remember Yumizuka. It's too long.
I mean, her first name is Satsuki.
Oh, I can remember Satsuki. That's fun to say.
A visitor? For me? Isui nods affirmatively. That's odd. I can't think of anyone who would drop by to see me. Arihiko's the only one that knows where I've moved, and it's not like I met anyone new recently. No. Hang on. I have an incredibly bad feeling about this. Isui, this visitor, what are they like?
She's a beautiful lady with blonde hair.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. Well, Isui's description was straight to the point. Instinctively, my body breaks into a run and I race toward the devil's living room as fast as my legs will carry me.
It's like a whole meter.
What the hell is going on in here? I throw the door wide and burst open. I throw the door wide and burst into the room.
His chest just
Alas.
bursts open.
Alas, it's already too late. I'm greeted by the latest plot twist in my character development. Another situation beyond my control that promises to upend my world all over again.
Look who it is. Welcome back, Nissan. I see you are late again this evening, as expected. He came back at 7. I thought lights out was like 8 or something. Ah, you finally here, you rascal. Not only do you make your little sister wait, but me as well. You really are quite the tyrant.
Both of them are looking at me, but their expressions are like night and day. This feeling. I know this feeling.
Ooh,
It's the sort of thing.
Too.
It's the sort of thing that shows up in a lot of films. The suffocating, heart-rending desperation of a soldier with a gun to the back of their head, being told to beg for their life.
Wow, Shiki, there are just 2 females in front of you. What'll you do? Oh my god, no way. And one of them is the one that you went looking for! Shiki! Is it so weird that she's at your house? She knows where you live.
I've returned.
She dropped you off like a kitten. Arcoide's in our house.
Oh god.
I don't think I'm going to be able to talk my way out of this one. Of all the things that could have happened, Arcoide and Akiha have come face to face.
Do you think Akiha's gonna think that they're dating because he wouldn't tell her where he was for the past, like, fucking 3 days? And she's like, oh, I'm one of your brother's friends.
Oh, they're banging.
She's like, just use protection, that's all I ask. She's just like, here, I got them. I didn't know what kind you wanted, so I got flavored ones. And in every
What?
size. Just in case. Protection is very important. We don't need an heir. You need to focus on your studies.
Arcoide is standing there placidly, while Akiha sits on the sofa looking similarly composed. But under the surface, while Arcoide's calm demeanor is just a natural consequence of her being an airhead, Akiha's is simply a veneer over the obvious hostility toward Arcoide.
Why is she hostile?
Akiha glances toward me.
What's the matter, Nissan? Don't just stand in the doorway like that. Why don't you come over here and take a seat?
Absolutely not. I have the feeling that I'd end up with a knife stuck in me the second I get within range of that sofa. There is no way I am going near it. I'm good here. Thanks. More importantly, Akiha, this person here is, well... How do I explain this to her? I can't just pass her off as a classmate, and I get the feeling that saying that I met her on the street would only make things worse.
Well, go on.
Akiha pierces me with her unforgiving gaze. Fine. We're probably past the point where anything I can say can make a difference, but if I want to make sure nobody gets hurt, and of course that my own peace isn't threatened, I have no choice but to come up with some kind of explanation. Look at that dopey ass face.
She's so ready to just cause
I
chaos.
love her.
She's so ready for chaos.
I've got to come up with an explanation, but before I get to that, under what pretense did this vampire, happily standing there with a grin on her face as though all of this is of no concern to hers, manage to make her way into the mansion in the first place? I find it pretty hard to believe that Akio would invite a stranger into the living room. Before that, can I ask something? This person, what did she say she came for?
Hmm?
Arcoide tilts her head, perplexed.
Is she not a friend of yours? That's how she introduced herself.
Thought we were friends, Shiki.
Shaky, you wound me.
I thought we were
friends.
buds.
I thought we were the bestest of buddies. We sang the friend song together.
I don't recall ever doing such a thing.
Oh, come on. F is for friends.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say, I was gonna make a bad joke, but then I was like, maybe I shouldn't. I was gonna make a joke about them fucking, and then I was like, Akiha will probably kill.
F is for fucking all of the vampires. U is for ultimate destruction. Anyways.
Yeah, that's right. A friend, a friend.
I see. In that case, I would be overjoyed if you could formally introduce me to her. If she's one of Nissan's friends, then I can hardly turn her away at the door, can I?
Well, about that, Akiha-san.
I just imagine her at the door, just like hitting the buzzer, just being like, hello, hello, hello.
He's like pressing it repeatedly.
Yeah, just like beep, 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 beep. Like, doesn't even let the full, like, tone go through, just beep, 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 beep.
Yep. My words devolve into a mumble.
A friend, you say?
Perhaps, having grown tired of being ignored, Arcoide forces her way into the sibling squabble Akiha and I are having.
To think that's all I am to you, even after you did such terrible things, my body still hurts, you know.
Don't make it sound weird.
Yes. I'm here for
Oh
this.
god,
I'm so here
Akia's
for
ready to go. Oh god.
this. Hold on, let me take a screenshot of this, because this is perfect. This is wonderful. Oh shit. I hit the wrong button, I stopped recording. It's fine. It's fine. I stopped recording for literally a second. It's fine. We'll fix it in post.
Okay, sure.
I took a picture of it. It's lovely.
Alright, cool. I feel faint. So this is what people mean by vertigo. This feeling of drunkenness, of being forcibly torn adrift from reality. I can't bear it.
What do you mean by that? Are you implying that my brother has caused you harm physically? Or perhaps mentally? I don't mean to be rude, but are you aware of how unbelievable that claim of yours is? Yeah, totally. But relax, it doesn't bother me anymore. You paid me back with his body after all.
Don't phrase it like that.
What? But you did.
No,
You were so
no,
strong
no,
and wonderful.
no,
Arkwright's gonna get him killed.
Anyway, don't mind me. I only came here to grab Shiki. We'll be off before you know it. Isn't that right, Shiki?
Look at that stupid grin on her face.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
This is bad. If I let this woman keep talking, it'll be the end of me.
Where's that dollar store duct tape?
Well, laughing in frantic desperation, I run over to Arcoide and forcibly grab her by the arm.
Gee, Shiki, what's gotten into you? You're being so rough.
No, it's fine. I can't afford to sit here and listen to her complaints. I rush out of the living room, dragging Arcoide around after me and leaving the dumbfounded Akiha in my wake. Hisui is waiting in the lobby. I wonder what's going on through her mind as she watches me rush by with Arkwide in tow. Thinking about it makes me feel like a pit is opening up in my stomach, so I'll just put it out of my mind for the time being.
Are you heading out, Shiki-sama?
Yep, yeah, I'm fine, against my better judgment. I know I'm asking for a lot, and I'm incredibly sorry, but please leave the front door unlocked for me.
As you wish. Please take good care of yourself.
As Hisui bows courteously, I sprint past her and out of the mansion, making my escape.
He paid me back with his body. I love it. It's so funny. That hurts. Suddenly dragging me outside like that. Have you lost your mind?
That has to be the least self-aware complaint of all time. Have I lost my mind? What are you trying to pull here? Waltzing up to the mansion like that isn't exactly sane behavior. Don't tell me you're intentionally trying to ruin my life, you stupid woman!
Stupid woman! Are you trying to make fun of me?
I'm just calling an idiot, that's all there is to it, you moron. If you have any objections, then let's hear them. I'm all ears. I've hit my boiling point. I've never been in such an inexplicable predicament before. I'm not going to calm down without giving her a piece of my mind.
What's the big deal? I just came here to see you. I don't think I did anything that justifies getting so worked up.
You just came to see me? Arcoide, are you being serious right now?
Yeah, I am. What about it? But besides, there weren't any problems. I didn't use my mystic eyes. I approached them just like a normal human would. I even kept quiet about your eyes and the fact that I'm a vampire in front of your sister, since I know that's important to you.
That much I know about being told. Even someone like you has enough common sense not to bring that up.
I'll take that as a compliment. You really are a mystery. In that case, what are you so upset about?
It's because of how little you think things through. Do you need me to spell it out for you? Think of your surroundings and who might be watching. Have some self-awareness about your appearance. I am begging you, please just try to be more discreet. You draw too much attention to yourself just by existing. I feel refreshed now that I've gotten everything off my chest.
I have sprouted ears. I have 4 ears now. It's like having 4 eyes, but extra hearing instead of eyesight.
Arcoide, on the contrary, looks like she has a lot she wants to say. Like an indignant cat, she glares at me with a sullen scowl on her face.
What's up with you? Mouthing off to me like that. Besides, what do you mean I stand out just by existing? My outward appearance is no different to that of a human being, right?
A beauty like you will stand out no matter what. It has nothing to do with whether you're human or not.
You think I'm beautiful. That's like, oh.
Shut up.
God, sure.
I answer her clearly. Perhaps because my reply left little room for debate, Arcoide seems to have accepted it without a fuss. Well, I'll admit I went too far. I've never been caught in the ring between 2 heavyweights like that before, so I got a bit flustered.
It's fine. Besides, it seems I'm the one at fault here.
Arcoide nods rather obediently. Now that all is said and done, I start to feel a little guilty about thinking she had some sinister ulterior motive. So, why did you come all the way here? Actually, I had something I wanted to ask you as well, so I guess this is a blessing in disguise.
Oh, really? I would stop by because I was wondering what you might be up to.
I see. So you were just curious. Next time, hide behind a tree when you come to spy on me. Do your best to make sure that nobody's able to spot you. If you hide so well that even I can't spot you, all the better. I feel somewhat tired of all of a sudden. Well, this isn't the first time that I've been jerked around as a result of her whims. At least she didn't let slip anything about the situation to Akiha. I suppose that in her own way, she's doing the best she can to respect my position. Anyway, there's something important I need to ask you. You won't be able to relax if we stick around here, though. So is it alright if we head somewhere else?
Sure, but what's this all about?
You'll know soon enough. The park should be pretty deserted by now. That might be your best bet. I call out to her, signaling our departure, and begin to walk. Tilting her head to the side, Arcoide obediently falls in line behind me.
So, what did you want to talk about, Shigi?
Vampires. You said this before, right? That the serial killings everything is that the serial killings everyone's been in a fuss over were the work of a vampire? Arcoide nods affirmatively. And did you know the news this morning reported that another victim has been found? Apparently, they were murdered sometime last night and drained of their blood. Arcoide narrows her eyes. I feel a sudden tension. It's as though the solid ground I thought I had been walking on was actually naught but a thin layer of ice, and now one wrong move could prove fatal.
And?
And you're... I swallow nervously. Arcoide looks straight at me, pinning me down with her gaze. It was the sort of stare that made me feel as though she'd swooped down the instant I moved a muscle. But isn't it strange, Arcoide? Vlav is dead. So then, why are these vampiric incidents still happening? I'm sure this isn't the case, but could it be that you... If that blood is on your hands, then
You don't really believe that, do you? That wasn't me. It was the work of a different vampire.
Arcoide's immediate and somewhat exasperated response quickly dispels the tension that had settled over us. I hold back the inexplicable sense of joy that rises in my throat. It's too soon to be relieved. While I'm glad to hear it was another vampire's doing, there's still something that doesn't add up. If that's the case, then does it mean that these vampires will keep coming one after another? Did a new vampire arrive right after Vlav?
Nothing of the sort. Those incidents were the work of a single vampire from the very beginning. No new vampire has shown up to devour the city, nor did Vlav have anything to do with those serial killings.
You're saying Vlav was totally unrelated?
Yepperoo.
What do you mean? What do you mean he had nothing to do with it?
I mean exactly what I said. Jeez, you're so inattentive sometimes. It drives me mad. Are you listening? It's true that Vlav is a vampire, but has he ever sucked anyone's blood?
Yes. Well, of course he did. That guy systematically burned all those people to a crisp and then... Ah, I get it now. Why didn't I spot such an obvious discrepancy? All of the victims of the serial killer have been discovered with no injuries to their bodies, other than the fact that their blood was drained. But that's not what Vlav would do. That guy burns corpses to a crisp. It's true that he sucks blood, but that's not the main way he kills people. I mean, he did it the one time, but like, you know, the rest of the building was kind of set on fire, so he was gonna do it anyways. If you think about it, the people in the hotel weren't counted as victims in a murder case, but as casualties of a conflagration. Then, that means Vlav has no connection at all to the serial killings that have been happening in this city.
He was just here for
Hold
the
on.
7-Eleven meeting.
Hold on. Then who's behind these vampire killings? Who on earth would go out of their way to do that?
Like I said, those killings were the work of a vampire other than Vlav. I came to the city in order to kill the vampire behind those murders. We just killed Vlav just for funsies, and also he's a pain in my ass. The reason behind...
The reason...
Is that...
Oh, yeah, no, that's you.
The reason behind Vlav coming here is... Well, I'm no longer entirely sure. I think it was because of the CEO 7-Eleven meeting, but also he kept talking about the fact that I'm a princess, which is nice and all because I enjoy being called a princess, but that's a little odd coming from a creep like that.
Man. Who's gonna pay Yumizuka now?
Aren't you the new CEO?
Oh, right, yeah, okay, I guess I could do that.
I'm sure that he had come here chasing after me, but that doesn't seem like enough of a reason. Seems like he wasn't in league with the Society of the Dead Apostles either. Well, enough of that. Vlad is already dead after all. New CEO boy.
Yeah, thanks.
At any rate, Vlad and the vampire lurking in this city are two different beings. He was genuinely nothing more than an unrelated third party. I never said that Vlad was my target, did I? Vlad may have considered me his target, but my attention has always been focused on the serial killer vampire that's in this city. Shiki, I hate to ask, but have you really misunderstood something so incredibly simple?
I gasp in shock. Unfortunately, she's right on the money. Because she said that killing vampires was her objective, I immediately jumped to the wrong conclusion and assumed she came here to take on Vlav. So, what now? Are you telling me that killing Vlav that night was completely meaningless?
It wasn't meaningless at all. You were the one who fought my place, right? Though it would have been necessary if you hadn't killed me in the first place.
Strength drains from my body, and I feel like I'm about to fall to my knees. The battle that night was all for nothing. Even though he killed Vlav, it didn't solve anything. There's still a vampire in this city. For a brief moment, I find myself blaming Arcoide. This isn't good. My mind churns with a mixture of despondency and self-loathing.
Well, to be fair, she did ask him if he wanted to kill Vlav.
Not the vampire.
She was like, okay, do you really want to kill Vlav? Because we can. I'm not at full power, but we can kill him if you want to. But she never
Fair
was
enough.
like, he is my target, and I want to kill him. Like, that was never anything she said. It was always on Shiki. If I remember correctly. It was always
Fair.
Shiki's decision.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. I know it's annoying, but let me confirm one last time. So you're saying that Vlav is unrelated to the vampire murders, and the one that's been causing havoc in this city for the past month is a different vampire, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. But that's a problem for me to deal with. So you don't have to worry about it. Leaving that aside,
Arcoid looks up at me with a worryingly playful expression. What do you want? Just so you know, I really don't have time to play around.
Hmm.
I can't get a handle on my feelings. If she says anything weird now, I feel like my legs will simply give way.
I just have a simple question. It's about the time we took down Vlav. Back then, why 3 minutes?
3 minutes. What do you mean?
Shiki, you said that you only had 3 minutes back then. I could never figure out why it was only 3.
Listen, like I told you then, that place was like being at the bottom of the ocean, right? That's why I said that 3 minutes was the limit.
Hmm? You'd only last 3 minutes at the bottom of the ocean?
Thank goodness. If I still had any energy left, I'm sure my retort would have been instantaneous. Yeah, that's right. Unlike you, I happen to be fuming, so that's as much time as I can
So
spend
does that mean
underwater.
that you only can last like 3 minutes across multiple things as well? Or is it
What the
or
hell
is
are
it
you
just the
talking about?
ocean? Do you just put yourself in increments of 3 across every kind of like what's the term? Exertion?
What do you mean exertion? What?
If you exert yourself, do you put it in 3 little minute increments? Is that how long you can last?
Stop talking.
What the hell? Even I felt a bit chilly back then. Besides, I'd get bored if I had to spend hours at the bottom of the ocean as well.
Well, I'd die,
Have you
so...
seen the creepy little, like, sculptures they drop at the bottom of the ocean? Those are fucking terrifying.
A bit chilly, you say. It was so bad that I thought I was going to die.
Hmm? What are you looking down for?
Nothing. I was just feeling a little dizzy. You don't have to worry about it. No, I take that back. To be honest, even spending 3 minutes underwater is pushing it. Humans are frail, after all, so don't go lumping us in with someone as sturdy as you. If you want to have an endurance contest, then don't do it with another vampire. At my wit's end, I shoo Arcoite away with my hand. Well, there's no use in saying it now. At this point, I'm well aware of just how much of a monster you are, after all. Fine. The whole misunderstanding about Vlav was stupid on my part. But besides that, Arcoide,
Yeah,
why are you shaking?
And her fists are down. Oh, she's ready to.
She's upsetty. She's upsetty
You
spaghetti.
just called her a
Yep,
monster.
She's upsetty spaghetti.
I managed to get my feelings under control and raise my head to resume the conversation, but... What is this face she's making? Arcoide?
You're such a bully, Shiki! That's right, I'm not human, am I?
Pouting, Arcoide turns away and begins to walk at a brisk pace. Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
This has nothing to do with a human like you. Don't follow me. I hope you step on a Lego.
Arcoide must be really mad, as she continues to walk away without looking back. That woman. Where the hell does she think she's going? Maybe I touched a nerve. In retrospect, maybe I was a bit too cruel. No, but I didn't say anything that bad. I didn't.
You're a monster,
Right?
Shiki!
Though, seeing how upset she is, I feel like I'm the one at fault. Actually, it is completely my fault. I'm the worst.
I hope you step on a Lego and you get a puzzle and like 3 pieces are missing.
Oh, fine. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. So just stop. Stop right there. Flustered, I chase after her white back. I'm definitely not doing this because I feel guilty about making her upset. There's just something important we still need to discuss.
Their future together is what they need to discuss.
The fact
What?
that he keeps thinking about her over and over and just can't stop.
Aquaid cuts through the city nightlife. In an unwavering white silhouette with fluttering gold hair. That figure is the same one I saw when I first laid eyes on her. Or perhaps it's closer to how she looked as she faced down Vlav, standing tall amidst the crumbling wreckage. The conflicting feelings I've been wrestling with up until now vanish. There's no doubt in my mind now. The figure ahead of me is the platonic ideal of a huntress. Aquaid. Without so much as a glance back at me, Aquaid just keeps walking. Hey, listen to me. Where do you think you're going? The woman in white does not stop. It'd be pathetic if I were to just give up trying to get through to her after coming this far. It'd be pathetic, but for now I'll just hold my tongue and follow after her. Click, clack, click, clack. Our wordless march continues, punctuated only by the sound of our footsteps. Until Arkwright abruptly stops in her tracks and glares over her shoulder at me.
Stop following me. An ordinary human such as yourself will only get in my way. Can't you understand that?
Sorry for being human. If you tell me what you're doing, I promise I'll get out of your hair.
I'd like you to tangle your hands in my hair, but that's not really the point right now. It has nothing to do with you,
What the hell?
so scram.
Arkwright faces forward and resumes walking in a huff. Great. Looks like I'm in for a more taciturn prowling around the city. We've left the city's downtown area behind us, and are approaching a deserted railway underpass when Arkwright stops dead in her tracks.
Found one.
Huh? Arkwright's voice was cold, like it belonged to a completely different person. Ugh. A shiver runs down my spine. All I can see from back here is her posture, but even that is enough for me to sense the scale of the murderous aura that now envelops her. What are you planning on doing? I start to ask, but fall silent. I know what she's about to do, even without hearing it put into words. What emanates from Arkwright right now is an unmistakable murderous intent. Hey, what are you thinking? You... Arkwright does not respond. Her gaze is trained down on an average-looking man in a business suit as he walks along.
Shaky, take off your glasses and look at that human.
That human? You mean that man over there?
Hurry up. If you want to know what I'm doing, then save your questions for later.
Fine. Although, I don't really feel like taking them off in town. I take off my glasses. A light headache pulses in my temple. And in exchange for that pain, I faintly see the lines of the walls and the ground.
Just checking. But are you able to clearly make out those lines of yours on living beings?
Yeah, they're much more visible on living creatures than on inanimate objects.
As I suspected, you're a living being, after all. You wouldn't be able to comprehend the depth of something inorganic. The shape of it is only the first step. Even if you're able to perceive the outcomes that result from processes of wear and tear, you still wouldn't be able to see the end of an inanimate object. The only way you could the only way you could would be to share the same perspective, the same value system as those objects. If you want to perceive death, you have to be able to comprehend life first. So with all that being said, Shiki, when you look at that human, what do you say?
I don't think there's anything particularly odd.
He looks like
I reflexively take a step back.
it's like a dead apostle.
What the hell is that? It's true that any human would have those lines. Except normally, there are few enough that you can easily count them, even as they slowly shift like a flowing geometric pattern. But this... what the hell is this? The lines race across the entirety of his body. They smear themselves from head to foot, making it look as though all of his veins and arteries have floated to the surface. I can't even make out what the man looks like underneath them all. I feel like throwing up. That thing goes against everything I know. It isn't a man with lines of death, but lines of death that have taken the appearance of a man.
Shiki? Or no, what do you see, Shiki? To be honest, I would have preferred it if all you could see was a normal human being.
I can't even muster a response to Arcoid's words. Right now, it's taken all I've got just to stop myself from throwing up.
I see. I feel bad for you. To think that you can even see the lines of death on a thing like that.
It's different from usual, but I can see the lines.
As I thought. So you can even kill the dead. The question of whether something is alive or not is irrelevant. As it moves, if it can be destroyed, then you have the ability to end it. No exceptions. How absurd. Doesn't that make you the real monster here?
What?
As you can see, that thing can no longer be called human. It's a being that uses the blood of others to continuously cheat that debt we call death. A vampire.
Arcoid sets off at a brisk pace. She makes a beeline for the ordinary-looking man. Wait! Arcoid!
Stay where you are, Shiki. Be a good boy, stay put.
Maybe the man noticed Arcoid coming for him, as in the blink of an eye, he vanished from my field of view. Though rather than simply vanishing, it'd be more accurate to say that he skittered away at superhuman speed. As though trying to hide, the man flees into the darkness of the underpass. Arcoid is now nowhere to be seen. She too has stepped out from under the illumination of the rustling street lamps and into the darkness so deep as to be impenetrable to the human eye.
Beep, beep.
Pounding of my heart sounds uncomfortably close. The night is still young. The headlights of a passing car, the sound of a train thundering overhead. Despite being at the center of this cacophony, I cannot feel the presence of a single person other than myself.
Ba-dum.
My glasses. I need to put on my glasses, and quickly. If I don't, I'll end up seeing something unpleasant. I'll end up staring straight into the abyss, one so deep as to make everything I've seen up to this point pale in comparison.
Ba-dum.
But my body won't move. My unfettered eyes, able to perceive the threadbare nature of this run-down world, are drawn as though entranced into the dark void Arcoid vanished into, and I gaze, transfixed, across that threshold of darkness. Suddenly, silence falls. From the sound of the wind to the scent of the ground. Everything abruptly freezes in place.
Kurtz.
The world beneath the moon reaches absolute zero. From somewhere near the limits of my perception, there emanates an unfamiliar sound. There's no way I should be able to see it, and there's no way the sound should be able to reach me. And yet, I saw it. The sound of death clashing against death. There's no question that these eyes could discern it. My vision is stained crimson. Why? Why can these eyes perceive the death of something that I shouldn't even be able to see? Glasses. If I don't put on my glasses, I'm going to lose my mind. Fighting back the urge to vomit that's welling up in my throat, I put my glasses on, with trembling hands. Light and sound return. Getting a firm grip on myself, I take a good look at my surroundings and see nothing but an ordinary underpass. There's nobody around, and there aren't many cars, but this is still a wholly unremarkable nighttime scene in the city. This is a place without danger, a place where danger cannot even be allowed to exist. A sphere of civilization that humans call home. My breathing is ragged. Even though I'm wearing my glasses, there are still afterimages of death from earlier lingering in the corners of my eyes. Gives me the creeps. Arcuide? With faltering footsteps, Arcuide emerges from the darkness, her breathing even more labored than my own.
Shiggy, I see you're still here.
With a seemingly embarrassed look on her face, she hurries past me, lurching as she does so. Her gait is feeble, like that of an invalid. Truth be told, my own nausea still has yet to subside. But with Arcuide visibly in pain right in front of me, all other thoughts are pushed aside. Hold on! What in the world's happened to you? I grab hold of Arcuide's shoulder as she attempts to leave. With vacant eyes, she slowly turns to look at me.
I'm fine. I'm just feeling a bit tired. Nothing to be worried about. Besides, this has absolutely nothing to do with you.
You idiot! If you're tired, then rest. If you're dripping with sweat, and it's clear at first glance that you're seriously wounded... Panting as I fight to control my breathing, I grab hold of her arm.
What the hell? You said that. You say that, but you look as though you're about to collapse yourself.
That's just my anemia acting up. It's nothing unusual. If you can afford to worry about others, then worry about yourself as well.
It's fine. Even if you're worried about me, it's pointless.
Arcuide's breathing is so faint that my heart aches for her. Don't tell me. The wound from that time. I couldn't bring myself to finish asking whether it had been healed yet. I mean, she got that wound protecting me, after all. Her head still hung low. Arcuide doesn't answer. That silence is not denial, but confirmation, I think. God damn it. How many times do I have to say this, you idiot? Your body is a wreck. Are you incapable of just taking things easy for a bit?
I was. Taking it easy. Oh.
Hell you were. And don't tell me that it's fine because you're not human. There's nobody alive that could go wandering around with an open wound like that. I notice that I'm getting genuinely angry and come to a realization. I can't leave her be. This woman truly is an unbelievable pain in the ass. But in the end, I just can't leave her alone. What the hell were you thinking? Come on, don't just sit there, answer me. I'm not letting go until you talk to me. I grasp both of her white shoulders. Arcuide still doesn't look up, but I think I can make out a faint nod.
Jeez. You're a rather persistent one, ain't ya? I'll talk. But let's get out of here first. It seems like that guy from earlier was a dud anyway.
Arcoad brushes off my arm and does an about face. It seems that her destination is not the downtown area, but the deserted park. We've returned to the park. Arcoad must have recuperated while we walked, so she's now back to her usual self. Talk about a speedy recovery. There's no chance that all that really was just because you let your guard down and got wounded. Right?
Huh? No, I was telling the truth when I said that I was still recovering.
You told me the truth, hmm? Yet haven't you also told me lies?
What's with that tone? You're being extremely unpleasant, you know?
Only because you've been acting so damn suspicious. If you have a problem with it, then start by explaining what happened back there. Back there. I think I get the big picture, but how did you end up in so much pain?
Well then, without further ado, allow me to explain what I was up to as requested.
What a brazen way to change the subject. Well, this is what I really wanted to know about anyway. I'll circle back on her physical condition later. Alright, let me confirm something first. That guy from earlier, he was one of those dead that act as a vampire's workers, wasn't he? That means the one who's controlling him is your real enemy, correct?
Oh my, you're rather quick on the uptake today, Shiki. I knew pulling out that dry erase board was going to be helpful.
Why, thank you. Even I think I can put two and two together after all. I think I have a pretty good handle on what was going on earlier.
Yeah, marvelous, splendid. It seems the only cute misunderstanding of yours was about Vlo. But you're always cute, so it's fine.
Don't call it cute. Cut me some slack, alright? At the time, I had my hands full just dealing with my own problems.
Oh, like the fact that you murdered me? You had your hands full with your own problems, huh? Well, let's just leave it at that then. I have to blow my nose, give me a second.
Alright.
Sweet Jesus. Alright, we're good. Yep.
You good?
I just
Alright.
muted myself, because I don't think anyone wants to hear me blow my nose. It makes me a little wait, no. Seemingly. Oh, no, that's you talking. That's you talking.
Seemingly
I thought that was you talking.
Seemingly amused, Arcoid twirls around and peers at my face. It makes me a little uncomfortable. That's enough. Now talk. That man from earlier, he was already long dead, wasn't he?
That's right. He was an underling belonging to that guy, so I disposed of him. He was just low-rank dead, but if I left him alone, he'd end up killing humans and accumulate power. Can't let him trying to become the next CEO of 7-Eleven now, can we? Shiki, do you remember the conversation we had about vampires back at the hotel? I pulled out that dry erase board and everything.
Yeah. I was almost falling asleep.
Awesome.
Of course. I nod back.
Flashback.
The ecology of vampires. Suzerains and how they make use of their minions. Those vampires grow with their clans by hunting humans, killing them, and turning them into underlings known as the dead. That done, they conceal themselves and leave the work of collecting blood to their underlings. I remember Arcoid referring to them as suzerains, or the traditional type. Vampires that fit the stereotype of being immortal and weak to sunlight. You've already taught me a bit about them. So, this vampire you're going after now, you're certain they're the one behind the serial killings?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Even if he was only directly involved in the first one, all the subsequent murders committed by his dead can still be ascribed to him. That's why.
That's why you're wandering the city like that. You were searching for these underlings. Are you able to locate their sire just by doing that?
If the underling has a strong enough bond with their sire, then yes. They've been nothing but duds so far, though. His coffin. The only reason I haven't been able to find his hiding place is because of how many dead he's using. Motherfucker!
Keeps popping them out like... He pops them out like like rabbits.
They're popping like pop rocks. That guy only had to dirty his hands a couple times. After that, all he had to do was puppet the people he's turned into dead, and he can expand his territory while he sleeps. It's like fucking cryptocurrency.
Maybe this guy is the real CEO.
Of what?
Just in general.
CEO. We'll have to decide what he's the CEO of when we meet him. We'll have to give him a quirky
Speed away.
God, he's the CEO of Speedway. That's why they're rivals. That's why Vlav was here.
Yeah, exactly.
God. There have already been over 100 victims in this city. The victims that you people are fussing over are only a small fraction of those that are actually missing. Like your friend. That I totally don't actually
That's
know
great.
about.
Yet again, I hear something that makes my blood run cold. 2 days ago, I thought Vlav was the one responsible. Because of that, I channeled this feeling toward the sole aim of killing him. In doing so, I was able to maintain my spiritual equilibrium. But I no longer can. This tragedy is still ongoing. Over 100 victims. Over 100 people attacked, drained of their blood, and finally killed by those things that were once their fellow humans. Those victims that have their blood sucked, then become new monsters in turn. Ambulant corpses, just like the ones that masked the lines from earlier. The ambulant corpses, just like that mass of lines from earlier, that go on to prowl the city. 3 days ago, I remember all the people staying at the hotel whose lives were extinguished. Even though I was there, I didn't witness that scene unfold in its entirety. As a result, I could only imagine in words. I couldn't viscerally feel the extent of the horrifying violence that had taken place. The same is true now. Even though I've just been told a vampire that sucks the blood of humans is slowly expanding their dominion in the city, it's not enough to provoke any emotions in me. However, what if, without meaning and without warning, someone close to me was killed like that? How would I feel then? I imagine it for only a single moment, realizing the immorality behind such a thought. I picture Akiha's body sucked of its blood and discarded like so much garbage. The feeling of vertigo, as though my brain were being slowly whittled away, gives way to exhaustion. My heart, which ought to have been burning with indignation, is strangely calm. I tell myself that now is the time to think, not tremble. I'm cognizant of the fact that under these circumstances, such an event could still happen at any time. I can beat myself over my stupidity for not realizing we're still in danger some other time.
I was afraid you'd get angry like this, Shiggy. That's why I didn't want to tell you. It isn't something that the hunted, that humans can do anything about. I'm sure that in your eyes, the behavior of vampires is unacceptable.
Of course it is. I couldn't define for you the border between good and evil or right and wrong. But even so, I can say with certainty that I feel this is something I cannot abide. Even people whose faces I don't know have lived their lives and accumulated a past, and in proportion to that past, they still have the same amount of they each still have some amount of future remaining in them. Yeah.
You good there?
Bleh.
You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Even if that future has nothing to do with me, or something that I can't even begin to comprehend, I can't cast it aside so easily.
I actually, without knowing it, used to give myself anxiety over the fact of how many people there were in the world and how many people had entire lives that I will never know or understand. Like, I was like, I want to say I was like 12. And I would just give myself like anxiety like that and just be like, there are so many people and I'll never know them. Oh my god. And my mom would just be like, why are you thinking about that? I'm like, there are so many people. She's like, you don't need to worry about that. And I'm like, but there's so many people.
So many guys. So many lads.
So many lottie lasses and lassos. Like, oh my god. Anyways.
I wouldn't want to be killed for sport like that either. Such a death would be far too frustrating. Such a death would be far too lamentable. Such a death would be far, far too meaningless.
But you don't have to worry, Shiggy. It doesn't seem like vampires have any natural enemies in this country, but luckily for you, I'm here. I mentioned this before, didn't I? My objective is to exterminate the vampire that's invading this city.
I don't know what happened to her dispassionate demeanor from earlier, but our quiet has done a complete 180 and is now chipper. I have to say, her words are reassuring. I'm aware of how amazing she is, and the lengths she'll go in order to protect human life. She defended the city against Vlov's cold waves with no regard to her own safety. But there's something that just doesn't make sense to me about that. Right up until we fought Vlov, I harbored doubts about her, as any human would. I don't get it. You're a vampire yourself, aren't you? Why are you acting like some sort of ally of humanity?
An ally of justice? Damn.
An ally of justice? Oh, bone of my sword?
Hero's not here.
Well, you see, Shiki, I have been told that I am quite the bone of my sword.
God.
It's not like I'm trying to side with humans or anything. I'm just doing it because I have nothing better to do.
Huh? She has nothing better to do?
Well, some people do have it out for me as a result, though. I guess that's... what do you call it? The cost of doing business?
No. I haven't the faintest... No. I haven't the faintest idea of what you're trying to say. But I'm pretty sure that's not the phrase you're looking for.
Now, don't sweat the small stuff. Despite the fact that a lot of people hate me and are out to get me, you still helped me take down Vlov, right? With him gone, there's nothing left to get in my way. All that's left now is to find the enemy hiding in this city, and then I should have no trouble disposing of them one way or another. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get you. You can just go back to your ordinary life, and there's no longer any reason for you to be mixed up in all this, my little meat shield.
Ah, yeah, that's great. But,
Hmm?
but, are you really going to be okay on your
Absolutely
own?
not.
Those, those words surfaced in my mind, but I shake my head to drive them off. What's wrong with me? Why do I feel so guilty about making her take on such a dangerous task alone?
Shiki, what's wrong? Why are you making such a serious face again? That answers your question, doesn't it? I don't think there's anything left to discuss. I just imagine her like grabbing his cheeks and just like pulling them like apart. Just like, why are you frowning? Stop that.
Mm, You're wrong. There's still a ton of things I want to ask you. But more importantly, you idiot. Of course I'm making a serious face. This is a situation that impacts the city we live in.
Like I said, you don't have to worry about it. From now on, I'll be patrolling the city every day, keeping an eye out to make sure that there aren't any more victims. Or are you saying that you don't have any faith in my abilities?
I'll admit that I don't really want to get involved. But those words. I'm the one who lives here, so I should be the one stepping up to say I'll protect the city, not Arcoide. Arcoide, um, is this enemy of yours strong? Stronger than someone like Vlav?
No way. Despite his appearance, Bob was still a member of the ancestors. Compared to him, the vampire lurking in this city is a much lower purity.
I see. Then he shouldn't pose much of a threat to you, right?
I can't say for sure. If we were talking about me from a couple days ago, it would be no problem. But right now, I'm still recuperating. There's a high chance that the enemy is now more powerful than me.
Wait, hold up. I was just nodding along without really listening. Arcoide is recuperating? Back up. Did you catch a cold or something? Scratch that. Can vampires even catch colds?
Of course, I caught a bad case of homicidal maniac myself. I believe it's caused by a malignant virus called Tonoshiki. Does that name ring any bells?
Ah, well, that is, sorry. I just stirred up a hornet's nest.
I'm kidding. The one you gave me is already healed. Though, despite that, I still get tired if I end up having to use more energy than I bargained for. What hurts are the wounds I got from Vlav. Those are still in the process of closing up.
Arcoide gently caresses her abdomen.
I feel
That
like that's
one,
her
too.
hip. It's not really her abdomen.
A needless injury she sustained because she was protecting me. I'm speechless. I'm the root cause of everything that's ailing Arcoide. So how? How can she continue to smile so unguardedly at me, without so much a trace of reproach? That's enough. You should find somewhere to rest for a bit, at least until your wounds have healed. It's not as though taking a day or two is going to make much of a difference at this point, right?
I can't do that. Thanks to our fight with Vlav, it's extremely likely that the enemy has caught wind that I'm here. If I were to take a break now, it would only serve to let them know that I'm weak.
I guess. But do you really plan on keeping this up, night after night?
Yeah. Since I don't know where he's hiding, all I can do is pick off and destroy the dead that I've sending him blood one by one. Once I've cut off his supply of blood, he'll be forced to come out into the open in order to replenish it himself.
But what would you do if that were to happen tomorrow? Even if you hide the fact that you're weak right now, with your body in in that state, you're just going to get yourself killed. That's why. I start to beg her not to push herself, but trail off and look down to the ground. It's just as Arco had said. If she were to reveal how weak she is, then the enemy would likely take the opportunity to go in for the kill. And above all, I realized something those 2 days. When it comes to battle, Arcoide is strictly no nonsense. She doesn't fight with an eye toward minimizing her own injuries. The sole focus of her strategy is ensuring that her opponent is defeated. Arcoide prioritizes achieving her goal above all else. She isn't about to let herself be talked out of it. Arcoide will not stop. But if I let her go, I won't be able to talk to her like this anymore. This girl is so unafraid of her own death that it's enough to drive me mad. So then why do I find myself picturing her smile?
Would you say that it would drive you ratty? Perhaps. Continue.
If only I hadn't seen that face. If only she acted more like a vampire, then I would never have developed these feelings.
What? You think I'm cute? What's wrong, Shaky? Your body is shaking. Do you need to go to the toilet?
I love
Arcoide.
Arcoide.
You... How can you... How can she be so unreasonably calm about all this? I raise my head. Before my eyes stands the figure of a woman in white. I can't pretend she never existed. I don't understand what this emotion is. All I know is that the 2 days I spent with Arcoide are something I'll never forget. That's why. The idea of parting ways with her here and now, and then spending tomorrow night wondering whether she's alive or dead, then the next night, and the next, forever regretting my decision and kicking myself for being such a fool. It would be unbearable. Give me a break. I've already got 2 messed up eyes, and now it seems like there's something wrong with my head. I've already had my fill of vampires. I recall the fight against Blov. The fear I felt back then while skirting the precipice of death was so burned into my mind that simply thinking back on it sends a shiver down my spine. This time will be no different. He's no ordinary opponent. There's absolutely no need for me to get involved. Arcoide said she'd take care of it, so I should just leave it to her. And yet, even though that reasoning makes total sense to me, I still can't allow her to go it alone. Ah, jeez. There must be something seriously wrong with me.
I thought he was gonna beat his head against, like, the wall or something. I was so ready for that.
Whatever logic I come up with, however, I try to persuade myself. It's useless. I'm furious at my own stubbornness.
Huh? What's wrong, Shiki? Why are you angry all of a sudden?
Of course I'm angry. Even after all I've been through, I still can't stop myself from uttering such nonsense. I start to feel even dizzier after saying that. If I saw my idiotic self in the mirror right now, I would smash it without a second thought.
Calm down. You're not acting normal.
You're right, I'm not. If I were acting normally, there's no way I'd be able to say something like this. Cursing, I scratch my head in annoyance. I don't want to admit it, but I've already made up my mind. Heck, I even went and said it out loud just then.
Jeez, I don't understand you at all. Explain yourself. You've been going on about this and that for a while, but What are you trying to say?
Here's what I want to say. Until your body gets better, I'm going to help you out.
Huh?
Arcoid stares back at me, dumbfounded. As for me, I finally, or perhaps I barely, or rather. Enough of that. I told her exactly what I wanted to say, and have calmed down at last.
Shiki, do you really mean
I groan. I still can't even believe myself. I still can't even believe it myself.
that? I think I might have missed what you said. I'm sorry, but could you repeat that one more time?
I groan even louder. But it's too late to regret it now. The moment I uttered those words, I lost every right I had to lie to myself.
Come on, I want to hear that line just one more time.
Arcoid's coaxing voice is a little more than a whisper. Averting my gaze from her efflorescent smile, I do my best and speak in an irritated voice. Like I said, I'm the one responsible for the fact that you're weak right now, and I can't just let these monsters run rampant in the city. I just can't let you take this on by yourself, not in the state you're in. I want to help you, if you'll let me.
Ziki!
Arcoid's eyes light up. She grabs my hand and shakes it up and down with glee. Well, I don't think I'll be of much help, but it should be better than nothing.
Yeah, if I have you around, there's nothing I'll be afraid of.
Arcoid still hasn't let go of my hand. I'm afraid that sooner or later her brute strength will tear my hand off, but even so, I have no desire to stop her. I love how this is literally just a that is like almost word for word exactly as he said to her the first time.
A little off topic, but I just beat Endwalker. I'm watching the credits
Yay.
right now.
Also,
Oh,
shake,
very
shake,
nice.
shake at the top. Now stuck in my head is just shake, 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 Sonora, shake your body line. Work, work. That's the only thing that's bopping around in my head.
How do I put this? She really was smiling so exuberantly. That was enough. I felt, with some amount of pride, that my foolish decision wasn't a mistake after all.
Are we at day 8? Did we make it to day 8? No, but we're pausing here.
No.
I gotta go to bed. Alright.
Fair.
Everyone say goodnight. Everyone say goodbye to the recording. Say goodbye to the recording.
Later, recording.
Good night, everyone.